Once there was an evil battery who wanted to take over the world. But then he figured out he might be stopped using this thing, a potentiometer. So he rigged up a simple circuit to demolish its power. Boom! Hi everyone, it's filming day again, and I guess I should film another electronics video. So that might be fun if we combine two things together. Two new things together. And it will be interesting this time. And you'll be experimenting with different electronic components. It is very interesting. You will be first experimenting with our long-known friend, the LED, our brand new friend motors, and to control them both, we use this little thing like a knob called a potentiometer. It could shut the circuit directly down, and so that's what we need to control a motor or LED, of how bright or how fast it spins or light. So you see, there's this little knob and there are 3 pins on the bottom, and we'll talk about this later. Anyways, here are our components. Today you need to get your power supply ready and your breadboard ready as usual. I have 2 motors to experiment with. You see, they look quite the same. It's only this one and this one has different wire attachments. Your LED and 330 ohm resistor as usual to control your LED. Of course, your potentiometer. I just grabbed these bulk ones. They look more cool and they stick in pretty fine, so I feel like you should go with these B10Ks. These guys are pretty good actually. Now, gathering all our components together, we're going to start making our first circuit. For the first circuit, we're going to throw the motors out, but we'll add a very powerful battery. I got this one for new, so it can power 2 motors at once. Although, I said that we don't need the motors for now, since we're just getting into it, so we'll first do the LED. Alright. So, here, let's start building them. First, plug in the potentiometer on whatever rail. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a bit. So, okay. Alright. So I plug it in the rail, into the rail. And I'm gonna turn this thing around so you can see the back. Or maybe let's first see the front. See, there's this little knob sign here. It doesn't matter which one you connect to, but connect the little knob one to the 5-volt pin. So that, yeah, plug pin the 30 here, since there's that little drawing there. Plug it into 5 volts, that will be our control pin, and we're controlling the entire thing. And then for the next pin, which is 1 space away, put your GND wire, and then plug that wire, of course, into GND. Now we're finished with the potentiometer setup. Pretty easy, huh? Yeah, this one's the most easiest. Now to connect our LED, we just need to plug our resistor in to the positive terminal. First our resistor, then the LED with the long pin towards 5 volts. Grab another wire and connect it back to ground. Now you have a finished circuit. Plug your battery in. Our light is on, But when I turn the potentiometer, yeah, this thing isn't plugged in correctly. But when I turn the potentiometer, alright, I'll let you observe right now. It works, it works. Pretty fine too. LED's pretty bright. Alright, I'll hold this thing down. You see, I'm turning the potentiometer and this thing's getting brighter. You see that? That's the magic. And check out the control LED. Let's see what happens. Push your potentiometer down a bit since it may struggle with the values. Ha ha ha! You see, it controls the entire circuit as I said way before. Interesting, huh? You can play with this for hours. So you made our first project, the dimmable LED. Isn't that great? Now for our second project, I will plug out the LED. And if you want to keep this project or 3D print some mounts, you can keep the circuitry. But for me, I'm gonna plug in a motor. Oopsies. What's that? Oh, wire end. Dud. Alright, so I'm gonna plug in this heavy duty motor for now. Or you can plug in this regular motor. I call this one heavy duty since this one spins very fast. And so be careful with these. Yes, and I'm gonna connect it in this pin. And it doesn't matter if it's 5 volts. You connect all the 2 pins, one to 5 volts, one to GND, the other, yeah. You can plug in the pins in whatever fashion you want. Since motors, they don't just care about the voltage because they can take voltage from either side. And if you plug it the opposite side, it will just turn the reverse side. You get it? I'm not too sure. But anyways, just randomly turn it to a side and plug it in. And for this, I'm gonna use my trusty fan top. Here it is. And you may be seeing it in many of the earlier videos. And so I'm gonna plug it in so that we can visualize a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna plug my potentiometer firmly down. Yes. And ready? We're gonna open it. I guess this is the lowest setting. Ready? We're gonna turn it high. I guess there isn't any difference in sound value. Yes. But if you listen closely, you can hear it. I'll let you zoom in and yeah, let's see. As you can see, the blades are more visible when I plug down the potentiometer like now. But when I turn it up, listen to the sound. Now turn it down. Look at that. Turn it up. Look at that. Alright, guess that's it for the fan too. Want to test the low voltage fan? Of course. But this one I'm not going to attach the blades on since it will just chop up everything. Ready? Yeah, with this technique, you can make a very trusty fan. You can see how it moves when I turn the potentiometer. That's it for the motors. Now, you want something extra? Do you want a loudspeaker that could change its value? Well, I didn't mention it in the parts list, but I'll grab one very quick. You say you want a bonus? Here is the bonus, our buzzer. Connect the end with the positive sign. I'm gonna focus on this buzzer and then zoom in. And I hope you can see it, but there's a faint plus sign here. And the plus sign marks the longer wire, and so plug that longer wire into the 5 volts. And I'm just gonna plug it right on. Let's see what happens. I guess there's nothing happening with this. But I think you can hear some sound though. Let's try here then. Sometimes these buzzers don't work correctly, all because they're on a different side. When I turn this, it makes a faint sound, you see? I guess this one doesn't even work. But you can hear a switching sound. Anyways, if you have a working buzzer, it may go like beep. Yeah, that will be actually pretty cool. So you've made a few things today with me. And so you've made a adjustable brightness lamp. Alright. And you made a adjustable fan. And you also made an adjustable buzzer right here at the motor top. Hear it out! Alright. So I guess that's it for our potentiometer lesson. We learned a lot today. I also changed my battery, which was awesome. This battery lasts much more longer than the smoke alarm one. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this electronic video, and I hope to see you next time with more potentiometer motor fun. And I guess next time will be a more interesting project because we're getting into microcontrollers. And as you saw in my Arduino party thing, we're gonna use this thing, which is Arduino. And for this, you'll have to buy a totally new starter kit. And so, yeah. This is it for today, and bye-bye, whack!